here in the. We got to come up with a name of the studio. Like we don't have a name.
All right, we gotta come up with something.
We're gonna call it the BYBR studio, for now.
All right.
Welcome to the BYBR studio.
Working title.
In progress, right?
TBD.
Right.
We got a very fine guest,
Yes, sir.
someone that what this podcast is all about, and which is about highlighting individuals that come out of the Bronx that are doing something different than the average person, and he's all about like uplifting athletes, not just in the Bronx but all over New York City. But to ado, it's your boy Joey B, the guy, the one and only. Hopefully so. If not, you already know. My boy.
Los in the building. Yeah,
And-
episode 2.
And it's our honor to introduce Gene Marcial, the captain, El Capitan, the coach, the player, the man, the myth, the legend. What's up, bro?
I mean, we working on the legend part.
We working on the legend?
We working on that.
What's up? What are you doing to make yourself a legend? Just want to hear
It's
that.
just grinding, man. You know what I'm saying? It's, what I'm doing right now is just part of a grind, and I know that it just started, so you can't really dictate yourself at that because the job ain't. Kobe said the job's not finished.
Job's not finished. Job is not finished. That's a fact. It's one of the greatest lines, one of the greatest people, not just player, to have ever walked this planet. So, we'll dive right into it, right?
Yeah,
we're gonna keep it straight up. We don't like to, it's the Be Real podcast, so we don't none of that fake shit. We like to just keep it real, and we're gonna give you your flowers. I really appreciate the fact that you're a basketball coach here in the community. You've been a player for a lot of years, and now you're put yourself in a position to uplift these young cats that's coming into the game and also teach them as well.
Yeah, absolutely, man. And we just want to hear more about your journey, bro. You know what I'm saying? How you got to this point. What made you start getting into basketball and coaching at that too. What made you get into coaching and yeah, man. We just want to hear more about yourself.
I appreciate y'all for having me. Me and Joey go way back, so he was there when the grind started. So, you know what I'm saying? It's just I'm just fortunate enough to be put in this position.
That's a fact, bro. Los don't know this, but I'm actually nice in basketball.
Yeah, that's what he said. He said if he was 6'5", he would have went to the league. So I want to know if that's true.
Listen, we get to that. We'll get to that.
I need to see.
We got stories about Joel. I'm just saying.
I need to see
I don't know,
tape.
but this ain't about him. It's
Bro,
not about him.
girl,
I need to see tape
I
first,
I would have been Luka Doncic
Stop it.
on the court if I was playing basketball. I'm just saying.
It would have been Nate
Just
Robinson,
saying.
bro.
Yeah, I don't know. I got no hops. But yeah, me and Gene, we started in high school basketball together. He was definitely, like I said, the captain, and he led the path for me to join the team because he was on it prior to me. Although we were supposed to join it the same year, but I was a knucklehead.
You want to talk about that story? How you got kicked off?
We're not putting that on airwaves.
All right, I feel you.
But yeah, man, just I guess take us into what it was like going from high school ball to college ball, and to like how you put yourself in the position of like being a coach. Like walk us through that journey.
I started playing late compared to most other people. I didn't really start taking it serious until I want to say like sophomore year, going into junior year, like that summer. So to me, it was just about being around my friends and enjoying a sport. I didn't expect it to go anywhere. I didn't even think I was that good. Like, it was just something to keep me entertained, keep me busy. So, once I saw improvement, and the great Jackie Noah, so
Legendary.
always got to give him his flowers. So, once he saw potential in, what I was becoming and what I could do, that's when I started realizing that, like, okay, maybe we could play college basketball. So, we worked into that. I ended up improving in a year. Like, it was like two different people, and everybody used to tell me that. It was like, you was just a kid in the park, tall, making layups, and all of a sudden, like, now you more of a complete basketball player. But, that was late nights with him in the gym, putting in that work. And a lot of people didn't know that. But once I started gaining that I got better, I started gaining a passion for it. And then I moved on to college. But even though in the early stages, like, coaching was never I was never even thinking about that at all. Everybody got the hoop dream, go to the NBA and this, that, and the third.
Everybody had hoop dreams. That's a fact.
But, I kind of realized that early that the hoop dream wasn't going to be that. It was no league for me. But I didn't let it stop me from, getting the most out of it. So that's pretty much it. Went to college. It was a rough freshman year. I was up there by myself. A bunch of...
I mean, I know. But for the listeners, what school?
I went to SUNY Ulster Community College up in Stone Ridge, just by Newport. It's like 30 minutes from Newport.
The JUCO route.
Yeah, JUCO route. I ain't had the grades, so we had to work on that. But I mean, as a freshman, I was getting like looked at, like Division II offers, like getting looked at. Nyack, Dominican. But I didn't want to leave right away because I was still a little kid. I was a kid. 18 years old. Like, this is all new to me. I'm living by myself. I'm doing all these things. So I'm gonna kind of got to mature on the fly. And it was a rough freshman year. It was literally one night. Like, we played against Sullivan. Cleanthony. They had a squad. Cleanthony early.
Cleanthony early.
You know what I'm saying? Like a squad. I'm up there. I'm playing my ass off. Like, and we ended up losing. And it got that was kind of like a breaking point for me. I had Mr. Nose in the game. He was up there. After the game, it was like, I don't think I could do this. He pulled me to the side and he just like let me cry on his shoulder. I was like somebody just passed away, like just crying. He just let me cry. So that's part of me maturing, realizing like, yo, you really up here. Like this is what this is about.
Right.
So, he kind of told me like, I got a crew coming for you next year. So just hang on as long as you can, because I got a crew coming for you next year. Like, you ain't gonna be up here by yourself. So if you could sustain this and hold this and stay level headed and continue to grind through it, you say you're gonna be fine. I kind of dealt with it, and then let alone the crew came in next year. Literally everybody that was on my freshman year team was gone, and I decided to stay because the crew that was coming in was, some of my former teammates. Joe was coming up, Chris Austin, Kyle Benjamin, dudes that I've been growing up playing with. So I felt comfortable to stay.
With a bunch of other cats, shout out Ba,
Yeah,
Remy, Golden.
For sure.
A bunch of cats that could hoop. It wasn't like, it was like hoop.
Now it was straight. It was a crew. It was a
had
crew.
some dogs
like,
on the team.
It was a crew.
Hoop. Couple clowns.
Demetrius, Andre.
But hoop.
Like, it was a crew. It was a crew. So it was like, they was coming up. Since I was the only returner and I already been through the grind, the captain title got thrown at me. Like, yo, you're just going to have to be a leader. So I'm like, I saw what it was. So I decided to take that role. And then it didn't turn out the way we wanted it to be because there was a lot of up and downs that year. But to be honest, I learned a lot about myself up there. A lot about myself. And I learned that, like, I can change people's lives in a way, not trying to force it, but just kind of like, just leading by example, just like looking out. People have to learn sometimes through mistakes, but I think it's always good to have somebody there that's been through the mistakes that can shed light on it.
Yeah.
And, and then you decide what to do with that information.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, because like a leader, just to say, also by giving you your flowers, it's like I said when I introduced him about led the path.
Right.
A leader, as you said, is a guide. You know what I mean? And to be a leader at a young age is huge, bro. So that's your flowers, bro. Like, That was big time, bro. And I think you stepped up, bro. For real.
And what's impressive too is that you became a leader, right? But you say you didn't play organized ball till you was what, 15, sophomore year
I
of
was like
college?
15 going.
I mean, sophomore year of high school.
Yeah, like 15.
Yeah.
Right.
So what was the challenges of that like? Because you started out kind of late compared to people who've been hooping.
Yeah. I mean, I'm gonna give my flowers to. No, it's rare. Like the person who made me go into basketball is my cousin Kevin Vargas. Like he was a year older than me, so he was at Kennedy and he was playing. So like we lived in the same building, so we was always like attached to the hip.
Right.
So he got into the basketball. His older brother Willie Vargas was a basketball head. You know what I'm saying? So like they started. He always looked up to his brother, following him. He was an older cousin. I'm the oldest, so I don't have no older brothers. So, you know what I'm saying? Like, we always attached, so I kind of looked up to him in a sense. He started playing, like, I want to do it too.
Right.
But I didn't think anything of it, Then once I started getting better, and it's like, all right, now I'm competing, now I started really believing in myself. Like, oh, okay, you know what I'm saying? Like, you could do these kind of things. Like, it ain't that hard. And then it kind of took off from there. Where it was like, once I kept seeing constant improvement, I'm like, yo, like, I never got too high and things like, I'm the greatest out here. Like, I just knew that, like, yo, the work you've been putting in is starting to pay off. But it ain't done. It ain't done. You know what I'm saying? So there's more work we got to put in. So it was a challenge. Like, there was nights where I didn't want to be putting in that work. I was exhausted. But it also was fun, and it was fun getting better. And because of the fun aspect of it, it made me want to be in it more. I didn't really think, like everybody say, basketball is a business. Like, I didn't think about basketball being a business. I just thought about, having fun with it, like just playing the game.
Right.
I was always into sports as a kid. Like, my grandfather put me in baseball. I was playing baseball from a little kid to like 13, to the point where it was like, yo, this is kind of boring. You know what I'm saying? Like,
That's every Dominican though. Like that's our first sport. So
yeah, you born into it.
You born into baseball.
You born and the first thing they hand you is a bat.
Right.
It's like yo,
a white kid in the South in the 1950s. He just racism,
But when I see Dominican hoopers, bro, I get hyped, bro. I see when I see.
And this was I didn't think of it like it's not a lot of us out there. Like I never really like you a kid, you growing up, you're not really seeing that.
Yeah.
So it was like my grandfather was upset that I stopped playing baseball.
Of course,
he was upset.
Yeah.
He was like, rest in peace, my grandfather. He passed away 2 years ago. But like, yo, why you don't do this? Like, you know what I'm saying? I'm like, you gotta put in too much work into that to be good. And then I got like. I used to play. I was decent where I got picked for all-star teams and I was on all-star teams. But like I played on the all-star team. There was a couple tournaments where I didn't even play.
Right.
I'm like, why y'all picking me for these all-star teams and I'm not even playing?
Y'all sucking, man.
So I'm like, nah, it was a couple of things. You feel me? My grandfather always had my back on that. But I'm just like this is a waste of my time. So I didn't want to do it no more. So that's why I started playing basketball. And like I legit was not good at basketball. I was just an athlete. Run, jump. And lay the ball up.
Crazy.
So here you are, second year at Ulster and leader of men. How was that now? Now you're in a position to, excel in college sports where it's like, now it's like the real go around. You had your year of, figuring out what it's like. Now you know what it's like, and you got a good team of hoopers. How was that? What did you take away from it? And just like, how was that experience?
That year, being a leader on the Ulster team taught me how to manage personalities. Because like the personalities on that team was like,
and that's coaching.
Yeah. You know what I'm saying? But even then, my I was not thinking, I'm gonna coach. Like that was the furthest thing from my mind. And the funny thing is, like, my cousin, Willie, right? Willie, when I was playing younger in high school in the standard third, and we was playing, and he seen me getting better, one day he like mentioned to me, like, yo, one day you're going to be a coach. I just look at him like, what are you talking about? I'm trying to hoop. I don't worry about it. I don't want to be in the sidelines. I'm trying to hoop. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, not even then, it's not even crossing my mind. But that year taught me how to manage personalities. Like, we had a lot of, Chris Austin is a personality. Kyle is a personality. Remy was a personality. Like, they were all different personalities, but they were all talented. So it was, my job was trying to make sure that they gelled. You know, kind of building team chemistry, and you know, nobody hate on nobody, and you know, because at the end of the day, I got a goal. My goal is to win, because nobody comes and play. I don't play. We're not in the park. I'm not playing to just play. Like,
Right.
at this point now I'm starting to think of it as a business, because it's like, you know, I'm getting those D2 looks. I'm a sophomore. Like, I don't have no more junior college basketball after this. I got to go somewhere else. So I can't do it by myself. I need these guys to help me. So I was just trying to balance those personalities, and you know, and make everybody feel like they're a part of it. And as hard as it was, you know, and Coach Rayford taught me a lot of that about growing up. You know, we didn't always see eye to eye, but he taught me a lot of growing up, and you know, he was like a big brother figure sometimes to me, in terms of, like, you know, when I'm not doing the right things, of how to be a leader, or when the team is messing up. I never thought of it like, when they're messing up, all the blame falls on me because I'm not doing my job as a leader. So it's like, growing up in that, I'm looking at it like, this is men's basketball. Like, I can't control another man. But so it taught me ways to manipulate those situations, you know. And then part of being a leader, I know now, is kind of manipulation in a sense, you know, as wrong as it sounds, but it's kind of, you got to manipulate somebody in order to get the goal.
Oh no, yeah, that's a fact. I think the best leader in today's game is Chris Paul, and you know, like, when I watch him play and I see him, how he interacts with certain players, like, he'll be able to scream at one dude, "What the fuck is wrong with you? Why the fuck you make it?" You know what I mean? And then other dudes, they're like, "Yo, it's hot. Do this next time. Do it like this." You know what I mean? Or like, some dudes, don't even worry about it. Like, don't even say anything to them.
Yeah, because it's going back to those personalities.
Yeah.
Like, you got to learn those. Some people's fragile. Like,
Yeah.
some people, you know, need to be pushed.
Yeah.
You need to piss somebody off in order to get the best out of them. So, but you got to learn that about who. Like, I can't sit here and, you know, and be the same way. I can't be demonstrative to everybody that can't handle it.
Right.
Because everybody's personality and ego is, you know, is fragile. So it's like, you know, some people need that. I can, you know, ha 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 on you, and then the next person, I got to kind of, like, you know, boost his confidence, because if I don't boost his confidence, he shuts down. And I don't need you to shut down in this particular moment. So, like, that second year at Ulster was definitely learning that. Was definitely learning that, of who I could be demonstrative to, who I needed to, you know, have a one-on-one conversation, who I can call out in front of everybody, who I got to talk to, you know, things like that. But that was definitely, like, part of growing up. And it's definitely helped me today, for sure.
That's what's up. That's what's up. I think it goes into your coaching abilities for sure. So you here now that, you know, you've managed personalities. What happened after that? Or what did you garner from that situation? Obviously, I went there. I knew that you guys had a up and down season, but nevertheless, like, yeah, I took one of the best teams in that conference, BCC, who had a couple cats go D1, D2, to like an OT game in the playoffs, you know, and then after that, you know, what'd you garner from all that, like, to shape you out into the coach you are after, like, what happened?
I mean, it was exhausting too, because, like, you know, part of learning that in that aspect is, like, you know, I'm so worried about everybody else and making sure that this is right, that I forgot to worry about me.
Yeah.
Right?
Get yours.
Then I took a hit, you know, with academics. So now it's like, you know, I got to balance that part out. And I didn't realize, like, that part was involved in that. Because it kind of, like, you know, I'm still learning how to be a leader the right way. So it's, you know, like, I took a hit academically. So I came back. I didn't graduate. I wasn't able to graduate on time. I needed like another class. But I'm like, I'm not staying up there and paying rent to take one class.
Right.
So I'm coming to the city. So I came to the city, you know, summer hit, everybody outside. I that lost my mind about, you know, going back to school and finishing that class. Started dealing with some personal things. I ended up going to a Westbury. I went to a Westbury. I was commuting. I'm like, this ain't for me. I was supposed to play for them. I was like, this ain't for me. Like, I'm a transfer. I went to transfer. I sat down in Jack's office. I'm like, you know, I'm not trying to do this. I want to go somewhere. But by this time, I'm like, I'm Division II material. I don't want nothing less. He's like, listen, like, you are Division II material, but it's all about what's the right fit for you. I wasn't trying to hear none of that. I'm like, yo, so I took it upon myself. I transferred to Mercy. Did the Mercy thing. Remy was there. Bob was there. So we were supposed to all go and play. Still dealing with the same personal issues. I never really got like locked in on it. I'm like, yeah, I'm done with this too. So I went, and I kind of like failed out. I'm like, I don't want to do this. Mind you, to get my associate's degree, I still needed one class. Took like a year off, a year and a half off. I'm like, yo, I'm just working. I went into like a mode of depression where it was like, I don't know what's next.
Right.
So when you don't know what's next, you kind of always anxious and antsy. You know what I'm saying? I'm an older brother. So now my older brothers, they old enough to understand what's going on. And now all that pressure I feel I put on myself to be a good example for them. Now I'm feeling all that. My mom is every day, what you gonna do with yourself? Why you just in the house doing nothing? Like, what you gonna do? What you gonna do? I tried all these little bullshit jobs. This shit's not for me either. One day, now by this time my little brother's in 6th grade. This is when now I started thinking about coaching. Like my little brother's in 6th grade. He's in a little after school program in his school. I used to pick him up. They used to have like a little basketball coach. I used to pick him up from school, from the little after school, whatever. Their basketball coach left. My little brother was alright. Like at his age, he was alright for 6th grade.
Yeah,
He used to come.
he ain't no scrub now.
Yeah, he alright, but but like, he's alright. So I'm like, basketball coach left. He's talking to me. He's like, yo, you should do it. I'm like, I don't know. He ended up going to the director of the after school program.
Your brother.
My little brother at 6th grade. Ended up going to the director. I had never told him like, yeah, I'm gonna do it. Just like I don't know. I'm still trying to figure myself out. And went directly and told her, like, my brother's home. He played basketball. Like, maybe he should be our coach.
That's
She
fire.
was like, yo, bring him. So, like, he never told me nothing. I picked him up one day, and then she kind of pulled me to the side. We spoke. And I'm like, what are you even talking about? She's like, yeah, he told me this, that, and the third. Like, you'd be good for it. I'm like, yo, I don't got no job right now. I need some bread. So I'm like, all right, I'm going to do it. I'm going to do it. Started coming every day. Started working him out. Like, my little brother was all right, but the team was trash. Like, they was doodle. Little kids, 6th grade. Whatever. I'm like, in my mind, I'm like, yo, I ain't built for this.
Right.
Like,
Wasting my time.
You feel me? I'm like, this is just too much patience.
Right.
I'm just like, yo, you know what? I need the bread.
Yeah.
Started doing it. Just rocking out. They starting to get better every day. Still not even thinking like, yeah, I'm going to do this long term. I still got 2 years eligibility. I need to go back to school. I ended up going to BCC for the one class. I got the one class done. And then, I got my associate's degree. I ended up coaching them for 2 years. So when they got to 8th grade. By the time they got to 8th grade, they was legit.
You was on your Penny Hardaway shit.
Pretty much. But by the time they got to 8th grade, it was legit. But it helped me get involved in basketball again. Right? Because before that, I was like, go to the park and hoop.
Right.
But like, I wasn't really into it. It helped me kind of find the love and the passion for it again. And I'm like, yo, I need to go back to school and do this. Like, I got 2 years left. I need to go back to school. And I need to just, wherever I'm going to go, I need to finish it out and finish it the right way. So I ended up going back to, I ended up transferring into Lehman. And then that became a whole thing. But, like, if it wasn't for my little brother just going behind my back and putting that, I kind of would have never found that passion again.
That's crazy.
I know.
And that shows the growth, too, because remember you were saying earlier that, you want to take nothing less than D2. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like, nah, I'm set. Like, I'm a D2 player. Like, I know my worth. I know I can bring to the table. So to go through all that, to realize, you know what? Let me just finish this out.
And I'm a kill.
Yeah, and I'm a killer.
Because by this point, I'm just like, like, when I came back from Ulster, I was 20. And I'm doing all this bouncing around for like 2.5, almost 3 years.
Yeah.
So by the time I decide to go back, I'm 23. So at this point, I'm like, ain't no D2 gonna want no 23-year-old. Like, that's how I'm looking at
Right.
it. But at this point, I'm like, I'm a grown-ass man now. Like, I'm not a little kid who, still has these hoop dreams. Like,
Right.
I need to go and get my degree so I could be the big brother that I want to be. And I want to hoop. So it ain't about, where I'm a hoop. It's about, who's going to give me the opportunity to
Right.
hoop. And to do it at the level that I want to do it at. So.
And that tells a lot about yourself too. That shows the maturity and the growth. Because most people, they'll hear them news like, "Oh, you're not taking me to this D2. I'm not gonna hoop again. I'm not gonna go back to school." Like, there's niggas like that. Like they just want to straight hoop and then like they wouldn't go back to finish.
Yeah,
I deal with that
school,
right now.
Yeah, they
At
wouldn't.
at my position, I deal with it.
Right.
So like I understand exactly what you're talking about.
Yeah, nah, definitely. Some dudes don't want to see the bigger picture.
Yeah.
Like, I think it's always funny because, like, some D1 cats, they would go from, like, 15th man on a team in D1 and, like, rather stay there and not really, get any PT. And some see the bigger picture and they understand that it's not really about, like, that you have this title, right? That, oh, I'm a D1 player. With being a D1 player, I can now garner other accolades and achievements, right? Nah, it's not that. It's putting yourself in a position to succeed, and that way the light can be shed on you, because just being something is not enough. It's about doing something. So some cats go from D1, 15th man, and go down to D2, or the other way around, vice versa, D2 that go down to D3, and so on and so on. And you know what I mean? And then they become either the first option, second option, or whatever. They just become a part of an offense and a team where they can like showcase their skills more. And then boom, they go from here. Now they're here. Even though they're at a lower level, they up here.
Yeah.
So I definitely agree with that a lot. Maturity, and you're coaching now, so you definitely see it on the day-to-day basis. So
100%.
Now I as listening to your story, you talking about, you spoke about leadership, you spoken about patience, and the love for the game. So all that is like a fucking coach. Like when people are looking for coaches, I feel like that's what you ask for. Like
those are the tangibles for
right?
a coach. Yeah.
Right. So now here you are at Lehman. You're playing again. How was that experience? What did you take away from that one that led to that being the final chapter of the hooping days that transformed you into the man you are today?
Lehman was like, it's funny because like, I've had this conversation before and this, that, and the third, and like just hearing y'all kind of reiterate it back and other people, it really sounds like almost like a book. Like it ain't long enough to be a book, but it sounds like just the, you know what I'm saying? Like each part of it is his own chapter.
It's a chapter, facts.
So it's like at Lehman, it was another chapter because it's like, I took some time off from hooping, but I'm coming from a junior college where, I had a resume, second team all conference and whatever the case may be. I was a team captain. I got kind of like fake recruited into Lehman, but that's because, I was in the summertime, I was playing with Willie in the Inwood tournament. And the dude that was coaching us was Van Troy Chapman. Shout out to Van Troy. Where he was coaching us, and he was the current assistant coach for Lehman. Just so happened that my cousin, Willie Vargas, played at Lehman. And I used to go and watch his games as I was, in high school and whatever. And, so I'm at Inwood, and I'm not killing, but I'm doing my thing. I'm playing. So I get to the point where it's like, yo, what school you in? I'm not in school right now. You should come to Lehman. Like, I'm thinking about it. At that point, I was talking to Kareem to trying to go up to Oneonta.
Yeah. Because
I'm like, me being in the city, I felt like I already done too much damage to myself, so I needed to go back out. That was my whole process, So I was trying to get it, get in contact with the coach so I could go out there.
He ain't no basketball. He ain't no basketball.
That's not, you know what I'm saying? That's not for me to.
That's for me to say. That's for me to say.
But I was trying to do that, and the whole time that he wanted me to come to Lehman, towards the end of it, I'm like, you know what? I'm gonna go to Lehman. I had missed the deadline to transfer in, so I got to sit out a whole another semester. But I was engaged. I ended up transferring in the spring. I would come to the games. I would watch, and I ain't gonna hold you. I used to come to the games and be like, yeah, I could play. For me, I was like, I'm getting on this team. Like, they was good though. I'm not gonna lie, they was good.
They was alright.
At that year they was pretty good. They was solid. They was like a number 2 seed or something like
But
that.
what's that?
What year is this?
This was 2015 going into 2016.
Got you.
So, but I was supposed to be in 2015 fall and play into 2016. But I ended up transferring 2016 spring. So, but I was like, yeah, I could play. Like, I could hoop. Like, it's like I was already with some killers up there. Like, there ain't no killers over here. That was my whole, me just trying to psych myself back into it. Whatever, season ended, they start having open gym. I start coming to the open gyms. I start hooping, and then head coach sees me at the open gym. He pulls me to the side. He's like, you go here? He's like, yeah, I just transferred in the spring. He's like, you should try out in the fall. I'm like, all right, bet. Fast forward to the fall. So now, when I fast forward to the fall, John Brent, who's the point guard at Lehman at the time, he was already there. I already had known him when I was a kid. We used to play in Dykeman against each other.
He play overseas now, right?
Nah,
it's not him?
No, it's not him. That's my other boy, Milo. Luis Hernandez. We played each other that summer in Heights tournament. So I knew him. He was coming in. So like I'm now knowing dudes on the team. Now I'm comfortable because I know them. I ended up trying out. I legit was about to get cut. I kid you not. Like
what?
Listen, it's funny, and I talk to him about this all the time. I'm like, yo, coach, you remember you was about to cut me? Like, now I'm your assistant. Like, you feel me? It's a joke, but like he was gonna cut me because there was a kid who done tried out already for three times, and they always got to the point of like, yo, him or somebody else, him or somebody else.
Damn.
Yeah. So like John Brents knew me. He kind of vouched for me, like, yo, trust me. You know what I'm saying? You're gonna get something, blah blah. So I ended up being on the team, and I got on the team. I wasn't even playing my junior year. Like I wasn't playing like that. Like I'll come in and I'll be productive. Like I play like 12 minutes. I get like 6 and 3. I play 16 minutes. I get 11 and 8. Like you can see in the box score. You look it up. It's in the box score. Then I'll go games where I play 3 minutes and score 2 points. But if like you're an analytics guy, you can see like, yo, production is there.
Yeah, like
production is there.
I think they do like per 36 minutes, stats per 36 minutes.
Yeah.
So if you add in, this is just for the analytics guy, if you average an 11 and 8 in 16 minutes, 16 times 2 is 32. You average in 22 and 16.
Yeah, I was going to say, that was some solid numbers you dropped.
When I had the 11 and 8, we were smacking them by 20 something, which is why my minutes was extended.
Oh, okay.
I'm not going to hold you.
But it's still
Like,
analytics.
Yeah, it's still for real.
Yeah, but so I'm saying like the production is there. The guy that was playing ahead of me was a senior. So he had been there for 4 years. You know what I'm saying? He was solid. Like he was taking charge. He was like
A glue guy.
I don't want to say a glue guy, but like he was dependable. You know exactly what you're gonna get from him.
Sounds like a glue guy.
I guess.
I
call it how I call it. I see how I see it. He was legit. Like he's a good dude. You know what I'm saying? He's gonna take charges. He's gonna rebound. He's gonna defend.
Yeah.
But he wasn't scoring like that.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Like a Tony Allen kind of.
But in my mind, I'm like, yo, I'm giving work in practice. Like I'm taking charges. I'm defending. I'm getting buckets. You feel me? Yeah. I'm like, why I'm not playing? At the time, I'm 23. I'm lying. I got into the fourth. Now I'm 24. I'm a grown ass man. I'm like, I'm coming. I got a full-time job. I'm like, why am I coming every day from my full-time job to work dumb hard in practice, sacrifice, you feel me, and go to class right after, and I'm not playing? Like, what's the point of this? So, like, I had a conversation with the assistant coach, and I'm just like, yo, listen, man. Like, the assistant coach he knew my uncle, so like he kind of seen me growing up. I'm like, yo, like, what's up? I'm not gonna be doing this. I'm grown. I'm probably like one of the oldest on the team. Like, I don't have the time for this. He's like, yo, listen, trust me. We see what you're doing. Stay with it. I'm like, yo, I'm gonna trust you. But my patience is running thin. He's like, I bet. It's like 2 games later, the dude that was playing ahead of me fouls out, and we getting smacked. All of y'all was at the game that day. You, Omar, Stevie, Chris Austin, y'all was at the game that day. And all you hear on the side from the corners, We want Gene. We want Gene. We want Gene. So my coach, we losing. It's like whatever. This is like 5 minutes left. We getting smacked. It's like, yo, go get him. I got in the game. I'm like, yo, my boys is here. I'm putting everything up. That was my mindset.
You say pulling up from the logo.
I talked to the point
Off the
guard.
first play.
Nah, that wasn't my game. I talked to the point guard. I told him. He's like, yo, don't even worry about it. I got you. So now he's calling things for me. And once I'm getting it, I'm just going. And I end up finishing, like, I played like 8 minutes. I end up finishing with like 15 and like 6. And I only played like 8 minutes. I'm like, after that game, it was like right before the semester ends in December. After that game, he comes to me. He was like, what do you think about starting? In my mind, I'm like, it's about damn time. He's like, yo, but listen, like, you know, I don't want you to play the 3 because, you know, my man's Andrew Ute, he was at the 3. He was killer. So I'm like, I don't care where you put me. I just want to play. He's like, all right, you're going to play the 4 and the 5. I don't care where you put me. I just want to hoop. He's like, all right, bet. So try the 4. I'm like, all right, bet. I tried the 4. I'm like, this is easy because it's not like I'm not a traditional power forward.
Yeah.
Like, that wasn't the offense, you know. And he don't limit you, so I was just like, yo, I'm just on the court. But once I got on the court, it was a wrap. Like, ain't nobody coming here and taking my spot.
Yeah.
You feel me? And that's just the maturity, being able to stick with it. And then knowing that once you get there, you know, just like I was being hungry to get that, there's somebody else on that bench seeing what I just did, trying to come for me. So I just made sure that I'm like, yo, I'm putting that to bed. And at the end of that season, like, I showed a lot of leadership because I was coming from a situation where I was a leader. But I never wanted to step on whoever the captain's foot was. You know what I'm saying? So I was never like, you know, taking over of the team. But, you know, it was his first time being a captain in this situation. So I'll give him pointers. Like, yo, on the low, like, yo, try this, try that. Or I'll help him out, whatever. Coach will see that, and coach, going into my senior year, coach is like, yo, you think about being a captain? I'm like, yeah, this ain't nothing new to me.
Yeah.
So he gave me that, and I probably was like, he probably not gonna tell you, but he kind of reiterates it. But I'm probably like one of the top 5 captains he's ever had, and I could speak on that. I'm telling you, I speak on that because I know what I gave. You know what I'm saying?
Call it how
like,
you see it.
I know what I gave, and you know, there was some dudes who, like, prior to that I was watching while I was attending school, who were leaders. I'm like, nah, he's a good ass leader. But like, I'm right behind that. You feel me?
Yeah.
Like, right there.
Yeah, and I think, you know, like I'm bringing it all together because, like, I want, you know, like, I
Yeah,
feel
you putting
like
the book together. Go ahead.
you the yeah. These are the chapter titles and shit. You know, like, I think IQ is huge when it comes to highlighting who you want to be a coach. And the fact that you were able to, you know, put yourself in a situation where, like, you're not playing the 3, which is your traditional role, but you were able to step into the 4 and the 5, which you are hella short for, which you're a tall guy, but you played the 5 and, you know, produce and have a successful career. You know what I mean? That goes toe to toe with dudes like Draymond Green.
Yeah.
We're gonna talk about that. I'm glad you mentioned.
You know what I'm saying? Because it's not like when people hear basketball and they see size, they put you in a position. You know what I mean? So, like, for me or anyone my height, like being 5'6", it's like, oh, he's a point guard.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Where, like, I'm not saying I don't have the IQ to be a point guard, but I know what it takes to be, like, a really good point guard. And traditionally, I like to really shoot the fucking ball. I'd rather be a 2 guard, but I don't have the height.
Right.
But if you put me at the 2, I'm going to be all right. So, like, Gene, IQ is allowing him to really, like, step into not positions, but roles. Like, he can do what the 4 can do. He may not be the 4, but he can do it. Right. He can put himself in the 5. And you can put yourself and do the things that, all right, I'm aboard. All right, cool, I'm aboard. Why? Because he's going to box out. You know what I mean? That's, like, IQ shit. So I just wanted to, like, add that to the chapters.
So I'm glad you mentioned the Draymond Green part, right? So going into my junior year, we made it we ended up starting, and we was rolling. Like towards the end of that year, we rolling, and we get to the conference semifinals, and we end up losing on a buzzer beater, right? And like, that shit hurt.
Always.
So like, we yo, damn, like, you know what I'm saying? Like, we was rolling. And this just happened, and it's unfortunate. So we like, yo, going into my senior year now, I'm like, yo, this is my last go around. Like, I need to be the best leader that I can be. And the person who I took after a lot was Draymond Green. So I try to imitate things he do. Not his game, but just the mentality.
Right.
Right? So because, I was coming into it, like, that first meeting we had at Players Only, like, I called everybody out, and I just let them know what it was going to be. I'm like, listen, like, you think you should be playing, like this, that, and the third. That's not decisions for us to make. Whatever happens coaching-wise is whatever happens coaching-wise. Y'all got to come in here and put in the work. If you're not going to come in here and put in the work, get out the locker room, because I'm going to tell you this right now. We going to win with you, or we going to win without you. It is what it is. I don't care what you want to do. Like, my goal and my agenda, but the good thing is that I wasn't the only one that had that. So it kind of meshed well. But it was like, like, all right, you might not like what I'm saying, but you got to agree with it because everybody got the same goal. So you got to kind of put your ego to the side. But I was being straightforward. I'm like, I'm not here to be your friend. Like, I'm not here to be your friend. Like, I'm here to get a ring on my finger. Like, that's what I'm doing it for. And if you're not putting in the same work, that same passion, and that same drive that I'm putting in, then you're on the wrong team. Try out next year. You feel me? Worry about that when I leave.
Right.
All right? So a lot of dudes bought in. But what helped was that we was winning. But that cured a lot of headaches. Because if we was losing, that year would have been difficult as hell. But I'm glad that enough dudes bought in to, keep it rolling. So we came in and picked up exactly where we was left off. And, like, we had he used to be a SID, so he does things with the website, with the Lehman website, all the social media stuff. We used to have interviews after games or whatever the case may be. So, like, I would get interviewed after the game, and, it came up, like, like, Draymond Green. He's like, you're the Draymond of CUNY. So I started embracing that. I'm like, yo, that's me. Like, I want the whole conference to know. I want whoever's watching me, whoever's supporting me, that's my role. But I took it because at the end of the day, he's a champion.
Yeah. One
That's
of the
what I'm
smartest players in the league, too.
Yeah. So that's what I'm trying to be. I'm trying to be a champion. I had people, hit me on the side. Like, yo, you better than that. You just stand a third. I'm like,
You're a better scorer. Yeah.
Yeah, but I'm just like, I get that. Like, but that's my role right now on this team.
Yeah.
I have killers on this team. I don't need to go out there and average 15.
Right.
I don't need to do that. I got dudes who do that.
Yeah.
So, just being mature enough to understand that, to put my own personal ego and agenda to the side in order to let others shine. And, so I embraced it, and it ended up working. We won 22 games, and we lost in the championship by 1 point of missed free throws.
Yeah. I was there
it's
for that.
crazy, but you know what I'm saying? And at the end of it, looking back to it, I did everything I wanted to do in order to put us in a position to get to where we wanted.
Okay. Yeah.
And you mentioned ego, too. I was watching. Y'all watch Snowfall?
Yeah, I watched Snowfall. I haven't watched this season, though.
There was a quote on Snowfall where he said, only with the depth of ego can we walk a higher path. A character said that in the show. And I was like, damn, I had to rewind that. But that's basically the situation you had at Lehman, you know what I'm saying? Because at this point in your career, your basketball career, you're what, 23, 24 years old?
I was 24.
Yeah, you could have stopped because, like, I'm pretty sure you realized, like, you're not gonna amount from anything from this, after you just hooping just off the strength. But looking back at your 19, 20 year self compared to the 23, 24, that shows, not only did he put the ego to the side, but, it benefited you and to where you're at now. So
100%.
It's real life shit. Yeah. This is the Be Real podcast brought to you by Poland Spring.
Poland Spring, send that check.
We get into this point in your career now where, like, everything is coming to the end, everything's coming together, When did the coach, or when did you, like, how did that whole thing go down? Like, all right, I'm gonna be a coach now. Like a coach. Like, you were coaching your little brother's team, but now it's like you're coaching men.
Word.
Yeah. So after that year, that my senior year, seasons ended, and it's like I'm debating, I'm getting these go and play in DR, like chatter. I might go, Alan, the assistant coach at Lehman was kind of helping me with that. Willie was kind of not helping me so much, but just giving me pointers on it. Like, yo, go play in DR. I know you're 24 and whatever, but like, just do it so you get the experience, right? So now I'm talking, and I'm hearing a lot of like, you could go, but you might not. They say they're gonna pay you, but they always be, bullshit.
Oh yeah. That's
So now that's like, whoa, I got a government job. You feel me? Yeah. So I'm like, I gotta resign from here to be a pro, to be called a pro, but not get a check. I don't care what you paying me. Like, to me, it was at that point, it wasn't like, I got to make hundreds of thousands of dollars. It was more of an experience. I could come back to the hood and be like, yeah, I was a pro. But to be like, yo, you might not get paid and I'm losing this, I'm like, yo. So I was talking to my mom. Mom was like, nah, like, is it worth it? She's like, maybe 3 years ago, yeah. But is it worth it right now? So I'm like, it ain't worth it.
Mama know best.
I was like, it's not. I'm like, it's not worth it because I gotta leave. I got benefits and all that now from my job, and I'm like, I gotta leave all that. Like, what if I leave and I come back and they like, oh, nah, we gave you a spot up.
Right.
You know
Or
what I'm
they
saying?
don't pay you.
They wasn't gonna pay me because I had to resign.
Yeah.
But you know what I'm saying? I'm like, nah, it's not worth it. So I'm just chilling in the crib. Like, it's like August, chilling in the crib. It is what it is. I get a text from the head coach at Lehman. Like, hey. Not even like, hey, how you doing? Mind you, I haven't spoken to him. Like, so once the season ends, we all kind of go our separate ways because now we got to deal with that pain of losing our own ways. So, like, I'm not really associated with my teammates. Like, those are my brothers, but, like, I'm not talking to them as much.
Yeah.
I'm not talking to coach. Like, that's it. You coaching me. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Like, you got to worry about your next team. Hey, what do you think about coaching? That's the text. It ain't like, what's up? How you been? It ain't like, what have you been up to? Like,
Right.
It's
you
not
know what
a
I'm saying?
proper-
How's the family? Like,
It's
nothing.
it's not a proper email like, hey, Gene Marcial.
No, none of that. It's
We have
just-
an open position here at Lehman College of assistant coach. We were wondering, we see your resume.
Right.
I'm just like, what?
That's crazy.
It's like, yeah, I usually don't hire former players right away. I usually wait like 3 or 4 years before I hire a former player. But the assistant coach, Jay Modi, who was coaching me my senior year, he took a job at Sarah Lawrence. So he ended up going to Sarah Lawrence, so that position was open. I guess he ain't had nobody, so he just sent me that text. I'm like, yeah, I'm with it. Without even thinking about it, without even thinking what I got to do, like, this is a college position now. It ain't high school. It ain't,
Sixth graders.
Sixth grade.
Right.
Like, I didn't even consider what the hell do they do. I'm just like, all right. Because my mind was like, yeah, I'm around the game now. Like, it ain't going nowhere for me. You feel me? Like, that was probably my biggest fear was like, damn, like, I ain't playing ball no more. So, like, how the hell am I going to be around it? It's a passion that I had since I was 15 years old.
Yeah.
I'm like, damn. So I took it. He's like, all right, bet. Come tomorrow at this time for an interview. My mind like, for an interview? It's like, you asked me. I was like, I didn't apply.
Right, I still got an interview.
You
Like,
feel me? I'm like, all right, whatever. I went, I met with him, I sat down, and we talking and stuff. And he just pretty much broke it down to me. He's like, listen, like, this is what it entails. These are the things you're gonna have to do. But I'm only offering you this position. He's gave me the amount of money, what it was. Like, it ain't much. I'm not gonna hold you. It ain't much.
It ain't a doctor's salary.
Yeah, no, it ain't. Listen, it ain't nobody's salary. You feel me? Like, you feel me? But I'm just like, at that point, I was sitting there and I'm like, I ain't doing it for the check.
Yeah.
I'm doing it for the resume now.
Yeah.
You feel me?
Bigger
Like,
picture.
yeah. So now I'm like thinking at it like, it ain't gonna stop here. This ain't where I'm gonna start and end. Like, so I'm sitting there and I'm like, yeah, it's cool, whatever. I'm like, I'm gonna do it. Like, He's like, you only got to be, he's like, this is kind of like a 2-year job. And then, you know, you got to be serious. And if you go somewhere, you know, like, you know, I want you to move on from here and go somewhere else and end up, you know, getting better positions. But only you have to be serious about this to do it because it's time consuming. I'm like, yeah, I'm gonna do it. He talked to me about recruiting. That was like the funniest conversation to me. He goes, you know, you got to recruit and things and this, that, and the third. And I'm like, yo, coach, like, you don't got to worry about me with that. He's like, what do you mean? I'm like, I'm still young, so I'm still kind of around the game. So I know a lot of people. He laughed. Like, he legit laughed at me. He's like, you don't understand what this is about. And I'm like, yo, coach, like, trust me.
I know.
I was like, we don't got to worry about me in that aspect. Like,
the inside, I know niggas.
It's like, you got to.
I know niggas.
You feel me? So you gotta coach me in all the other parts of it. The political stuff, you know, scheduling, the scouting and things like that. So then I got the job. That first year was like, what the fuck is this?
At this point, did you quit your government job?
No. I did it because the assistant coach was part time.
Okay.
So because it was part time, I kept it. Like I was hell no, I was not leaving my government job. You crazy for that? But like. That first year was type crazy. I ain't gonna lie.
Okay. But, you know, shit, dog, you did it. You know what I mean? It was a hell of a journey. Definitely you garnered, I feel like, as you were saying everything, you know, each step you learned something and you were able to, you know, become the man, not the player, but the man you are today because basketball, what's that John Wooden quote? Basketball doesn't make character. It reveals it. Yeah. So, you know, each step along the way, you were able to get these abilities, per se, or character abilities that shit made you into a hell of a coach. And I think that's something that me and Carlos definitely want to, you know, dive into more as far as like what kind of talent you're dealing with, what kind of like where can it go? Can it like where do you envision? How does it go? How do you go about like coaching now with like certain players on your team? I think something interesting that we had down that we really wanted to like compare since you like were able to see both divisions like D2 and D3 is like the level of talent. Like what are you seeing in your role right now when it comes to who's going to D2 schools and who's going to the level that you're coaching in, and like, cause there's a dude at Yeshiva right now,
Ryan Terrell,
playing D3, and he's getting like NBA looks.
He legit.
You know what I mean? So legit. Like, how what kind of talent are you seeing as far as like D2, D3, and do you think that the talent that you're seeing, like, what would it be like for them to make it to the NBA?
So I think that, you know, based on that, there's people are being told a lie in a sense of like, you know, if you know about all this pro stuff, like, if you're good, they gonna find you. It's just like that. You know what I'm saying? And sometimes, you know, people go places, you know, whether it's D1, whether it's D2, because of either the name of the school or the level of the school. But it is not the fit. So it's like you go there and you're going to struggle and then be upset because you didn't get the looks you want. Because you weren't as good in that situation because it didn't fit you. When you could have possibly been, you know, let's say at a D2 or at a D3 where now you wilding. Somebody looking like, hold up. It fits over there and, you know, he's doing what he needs to do. Let me go take a look. That's exactly about that kid in Yeshiva. Like, that kid is a Division I talent.
Really?
100%. He's 6'7", he does it all.
What's his name again?
Ryan Terrell. He's 6'7", and he does it all.
He's Jewish.
But I think that I don't want to comment on that because I don't know. But I think that's why he went to Yeshiva. Yeah. That has something to do with it.
Oh, of course. I mean, I like growing up in in the Heights, Yeshiva University being right there. If you like Jewish in New York City, Yeshiva's like Harvard.
Yeah.
You go. They accept you. Lit. I'm going. And then they only. I think I'm not. I don't know what their admissions is like, but I think they only accept Jewish cats. So
I don't know. I personally don't know much, but like legit. And they've been a powerhouse for like the last 3 seasons. I want to say.
Yeshiva?
Yeah.
I didn't know they had a squad, to be honest.
Listen, my junior year, we played them. They beat us by like 4. They wasn't as good at the time, like as they are now.
Bro.
But that was like 5-6 years ago. But since then, they've built us. Like, they got a powerhouse. Like, they won like last season. I think not last season because it was COVID. 2 seasons ago, they was like 29-0. Something like that. I'm telling you, and you would think like, yo,
Yeshiva.
like,
Bro.
I'm about to get a jersey.
But that's what I'm saying. They built a powerhouse. So they built a powerhouse, and then they get a kid like that.
Yeah.
That's
The
why.
eyes is already on it.
Yeah.
His talent level shines. This is why he's getting all them looks. You feel me? But so my thing to people is like, yo, if you're good, they're gonna find you. Like going back to when I said when Coach laughed at me about scouting and recruiting, and he laughed at me. Like my first ever recruit at Lehman College is a second team All-American.
Jeez.
You should when you drop a bomb on that. You feel me? like my first ever recruit is a second team All-American in Division III, like the nation. Not like CUNY, not like the East Coast, like the nation. You feel me? So it's like he's a pro right now. He just got drafted to play in DR. Like two days ago.
Oh,
Is that Isaiah?
Division II talent.
Isaiah?
No,
What was his name?
Gian Batista. Division II talent, where he had Division II looks. Like he could have left out of his junior college and got and won Division II. And then he had a family situation that he had to stay at home, and his girlfriend was at Lehman. So I was like, you know what, it works, it fits, I'm comfortable. Second team All-American in 2 years.
that's crazy.
You know what I'm saying?
And that's the misconception too. I feel like with the divisions, people think like, oh, D2, D3, like, oh, they ain't no hoopers. Like, it's just kids that probably played the bench in high school, but there's probably some real talent. And you see there's a couple people in the league that, you know, that started off in the D2, D3 route. I think Duncan Robinson
Duncan Robinson
was D3. You know what I mean? So
I'm just saying, like it's definitely a misconception because if you're good enough, they're gonna find you.
right.
You know what I'm saying?
No matter the division.
Exactly.
Right.
You know, and some kids, I'm keeping it a bug, and some kids ain't realistic about their situation.
Jimmy
Like
Butler.
everybody wants to. I'm going to the NBA. It's like, no, you're not. And it's not. I don't like to. It's not about crushing nobody's dreams.
Yeah.
But you have to understand how many people play basketball. You know what I'm saying? Like, so it's great to have the dream, but it's also you got to be realistic with yourself and what you can do and your abilities.
Right.
You know, like there are other routes. Like you can go pro. You know, you might not get drafted from Division III, but you go pro and go pro somewhere and kill over there,
Go
and then go.
overseas.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And then make your way in somehow. It's possible that way. But like, not everybody go to the leagues. There's 2 rounds. 60 players get selected
Right.
out of.
Thousands.
You know what I'm saying? So it's like, I be trying to tell, it's hard with that misconception in recruiting sometimes because, like, Lehman fits you, but you think you're a Division II player. So you go to those Division II schools, you don't play much, you hate the coach. You know, the coach doesn't know what he's doing. And in some cases, that's the case. But then there's some cases that they don't really realize, and it's like, yo, you wasn't... That wasn't your spot anyways.
Right.
Yeah.
Why not just, we're D3, but we're a good D3. Why not come here and solidify your legacy? And patch your numbers. And,
Yeah. And it's like, that doesn't necessarily mean like your journey to the NBA is done. Because you can kill 4 years at a D3 school, go pro overseas, because it doesn't stop. You know what I mean? You go overseas, next thing you know, you killing over there, and you move up either division in because they have divisions out there as well. You move up to the top division, next thing you know, you're getting looked at by G League teams. What happens? Oh, now you in a G League. Whoa, shit. it's up from there. And next thing you know, fuck, you in the NBA.
Right.
You know what I mean? So it's like, I think a lot of athletes, basketball players, any baseball, any athlete should be hearing those words.
I mean, yeah, like this, it's not one route to get anywhere in life. You know what I'm saying? Like everybody has their own path.
Right.
You got to be able to be willing and accept it and play the cards that you was dealt, and manipulate your situation as best as you can to get where you want to go. Yeah. And everybody thinks, well, I don't want to go there because it's Division III. I don't want to go there because it's Division III. But it's like, I got some kids on my team now who's not a Division III talent.
Right.
But they're in the situation that best fits them.
What? They're not a Division III talent?
I mean, like Division II, my bad. Like, I mean, yeah, they're not Division III talent. Like, they're better.
Gotcha.
You know what I'm saying?
Okay.
That's what I meant to say.
Oh, okay.
But, like, they're better than where they are. But certain situations call for that. Or they chose to come there because that's what fits them. And sometimes you can only be successful where you're going to be comfortable at, especially as an athlete. Like, you go somewhere and you're not comfortable, you're not going to succeed. And I believe that wholeheartedly. Like, if you go to school to play basketball and you don't like it, and you don't like the school, you're not going to have fun playing basketball. And if you're not having fun, you're not going to be good.
Right.
Yeah. I believe that. But there's a lot more to unpack with situations and being comfortable, like right coach, right, chemistry with players, school environment, things like that make that decision of like, am I comfortable, easier. But like, I really want to know, like, real shit. Like, what's the talent like? Like, what you got is the 15th guy on a D3 team. Do you think he can be a D2 basketball star?
That's not always the case. It's not always the case, and every team is different.
True.
Like, I've had. This will be. I'm going into my fourth. This will be this season coming.
My fault. I mean, we say that because I feel like people are gonna be like, "What the fuck is he talking about?" Can the 15th guy on a D3 bench go from there to the NBA?
That sounds highly unlikely, though.
Sounds highly unlikely.
It sounds
but
highly
can it
unlikely.
happen?
I mean, I think like KG said, anything is possible. But like, I don't know. I honestly, I don't know. And I agree. It's highly unlikely. Like, how you gonna go to the NBA if you're the 15th man? It means you're not getting on the court.
True. You trash, son. And if I see you in the gym,
I'm not saying all that because listen, one thing I learned.
Cook you up. All right. Anybody listening to this, just know I'm hitting you with the 1-2 sham guard, coming through with the Tim Hardaway crossover, spin move, lay you, look at you in your eyes as I'm laying it up. Like, yes, that happened. And then after that, I'm going to have a meal with your moms. Be like, your son is trash. You deserve this.
He just went ahead for no reason. He said crossover, spin move.
That's a lot of moves.
Double spin right, mad moves.
That's a lot of moves. Like,
Let's do this.
But, I mean, it's hard, man. 15 guy. But I'm going to tell you this right now. Every guy on the team plays a role.
Yeah. Everywhere.
You know what I'm saying? Like, don't get a miss because you're the 15 guy. Doesn't mean, and the team wins the championship doesn't mean you wasn't valuable. Right. Like, sometimes the good dudes need players to play against in practice. And if you giving them work, because it happens, I done seen the 13th guy give a starter the work.
Facts.
You feel me? But it's just the starter's a little bit better. So it's like it ends up working like that. But I didn't seen it. But it helps. Why? Because sometimes when that starter's going against other teams, that next guy that he's playing against ain't as good as that 13th guy. You know what I'm saying? So it helps the person gets better. So, people misconstrue that because, you don't even get on the bench.
Right.
Like, it's funny, but sometimes, that's the card you was dealt.
That's true. That's true. So here you are, a coach, and we see, like, we always see, like, coaches, like, you talking about recruiting. That's why I bring this up. There's, like, rules and regulations as far as, like, the NCAA is concerned. Like, does that trouble you when it comes to getting players wherever they're coming from, whether it be like from the city, out of state, transfer portal? What are the rules and the regulations like now that you're dealing with, like you've been built the perfect coach persona, but now you have to revolve it around not just the team but the regulations.
I mean, every level's rules is a little different.
Okay.
When it comes to us, like our biggest rule is like I can't bring in a recruit and work him out. I can't do that. That's against the rules. In the off season, I can't do that. So like right now, I have to strictly recruit. Like I could go to games and watch games. I can talk to the. You'd be surprised.
Nah, I know. I'm just
You'd be surprised. I could talk to the recruits, this, that, and that. I mean, obviously, I can't buy them stuff.
Right. Take them out
to eat. I can't be doing
that.
none of that stuff.
That's so corny.
It is, but I don't make the rules. You feel me? So I just got to work around it. When it comes to out of state, it's more of a school problem than it is NCAA problem, because it's like you out of state. It's like one at Lehman, we don't have dorms, so like you coming from West Bubblefuck, where we gonna put you? You know what I'm saying? Then on top of that, now you got to pay double tuition because you're not a New York resident. So it's like that's the biggest problem we have recruiting out of state. So we keep it in the city. You know, it's easier for us that way.
That's what it's about, baby.
But yeah, like it's hard. But at the same time, the only trouble I have recruiting legit is it's the D3 stigma. That's the biggest problem I have. It's not like we've been successful enough from when I played to now me coaching that our resume kind of speaks for itself. Like you look at just the last 7 years what we've done, and if you want to be a part of that. So it's like, you want to go to a D2, but that D2 might have won 3 games.
Right.
Garbage.
If you think you're the missing piece, by all means, go and be the missing piece.
Right.
But when y'all win 4 games, just know you still got my number. You feel me? Like, hit me up. We gonna take you. So that's the biggest stigma.
Yeah. And how is the talent now based out of New York? Because New York is known for the guards. We have New York is known for some real hoopers. And
we got some real hoopers. We don't got no real thinkers though. You know what I'm saying? A lot of I'm telling you right now, basketball is. You could do everything you want. You could be talented as hell skill wise.
Right.
But if you can't think the game, it's gonna be very hard in college basketball, regardless of the level. You know what I'm saying? Like D2, D1, D3. I mean, the higher the level, the harder it is. But like kids in the park could think, I could go play there, and then they come, and it's a hard adjustment.
It's a different game.
But not everybody understands that.
Yeah.
So like that's a challenge in itself, where it's like you're the most talented kid in the city, or whatever the case may be, but it's hard for you to have process the game up here, where now like we in the park, like if he's guarding me, you ain't on help side.
Right.
If I get by him, it's a layup. All right. But now we in college, and I get by him, like you in the lane. There ain't no 3 seconds. Charge. People take charges. Not everybody process that.
Right.
So it's hard sometimes to get the street ball out of the players. But sometimes you want something. You want a little street ball in there too, because it's creative. Yeah. So you can't always like structure and give them the book and this is exactly how it goes. Yeah. You got to be lenient in some things, but also put the structure where your core philosophies lie. So that's the difficult part, but we've been successful with it so far.
Yeah.
Where do you think New York City basketball is at right now, as far as the youth like coming up?
I mean, I think it's getting better than what it was because it kind of died out. So it's getting better. I think a lot of people are starting to teach basketball again, not just put what the best product is out there. Because, it's hard to, you could see a kid and he might be good basketball-wise, but, like he doesn't know simple concepts of the fundamentals of the game. And so some people, I'm young in the game, but I kind of already seen it where they put the best product together in order to solidify themselves. Like, not the kids, like me. Like, I got these kids. They're good. But you're not really teaching. You're doing it. It's a selfish agenda. It's like sometimes, coming into coaching, you got to be, is it for you? Is it for them? And I look at it and it's for them. Like, I get more satisfaction of seeing them succeed on the court than what my resume speaks of right now. You know what I'm saying? Like, because if they not succeeding, and my resume ain't shit. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, it's kind of, you got to be a little selfish,
Yeah.
but you also got to understand why you're doing it.
Yeah.
And I could talk basketball all day.
Yeah.
Yeah, nah, especially with college coaches, they I feel like some, I'm not gonna say any names because I don't really dive into their.
Say some names, bro. Get messy.
I'm not. It's not somebody I know personally, but like I feel like big schools, big D1 schools, they really focus on like, oh, I'm gonna get the highest recruiting class, and then next thing you know, that recruiting class that was nasty. Everybody's like on paper, yo, nasty. They about to go to the chip. They do nothing. They fluster out and they don't even make it to the tournament.
Right.
I would say Kentucky's like that. Again, because it's Kentucky, so it's easy to get the kids. But I don't know if the coach there now is like trying to really teach them the game and be like, yo.
I mean, I get that,
but I don't know. I'm not there.
Yeah.
That's why I'm not trying to say. I just feel like that can go with that.
I mean, you also got to get them to buy in. You know what I'm saying? Like you mentioned Kentucky. Like, Kentucky's been a place where, they get the pros, but they don't get the pros to go in there and average 25 a game. You know what I'm saying? Like the kids got to be willing to sacrifice as well too. It's one basketball. You're not gonna go in there with another top 5 recruit and think that y'all both just gonna be averaging 30. Like,
right.
That's not the nature of the game.
Yeah.
So if you can't get a kid to buy in, sometimes that's where it hurts. And I think that some places coaches do deserve some of the blame, but not all of the blame. And that's also something that I see, that coaches get all of the blame. Like, you can only do so much. Like, you can put them in the right positions to succeed. You can try your best. You could drill all these things into their head and try to get them to do the things that you want them to do. But it's up to the individual at the end of the day. You feel me? So it's like, you say that and he gets, you look how you're looking at it. Like, it's Coach K. Maybe he doesn't do it. But look at his other teams where he's gotten these pros to buy in.
True.
And has been successful.
True.
Right? So that you can't balance it out in that way. You can't just look at one team. Coaching, you're going to have a new team every year.
Right.
Every year you got a new team.
Yeah.
So you can't pick one team and say, yo, this team, XYZ, because those other teams wasn't like that. And it's just, that's the difficult part of it, especially in programs like that, where it's like they got a one and done situation. So.
Yeah, I want to touch back on the coaching too, because you went from literally coaching boys to men.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And how was that transition, going from teaching 11-year-old, coaching 11-year-olds to, coaching 18-year-olds? Because a part of coaching too is not only player development, but how they develop as young men. So, what were the challenges with that and how you gain the respect of your players and the team?
Yeah, so like with the kids, it's like, I'm older. They gotta listen.
They're going to listen
They
automatically.
gotta listen.
Yeah.
You ask.
Right.
So like, you ask, I had leverage on the kids because it's like, I was I was kind of played college basketball already.
Right.
My little brother's on the team, and he nice. He like the best player on the team. So now you got to look at him and be like, damn, like, his little brother's nice. So I got to listen. He might know what he's talking about because his little brother. So I got leverage. It's hard. It's easy with the kids. It's dumb easy, but definitely a challenge when it comes to the young men. Like when I spoke about it earlier, that first year was rough because it was a quick turnaround. Like, my season ended in May. I'm coaching in October. You know what I'm saying? Not preparing. I got the job in August. You know what I'm saying? So mindset has to be full. and it's like a whole new thing where nobody kind of gave me the book of it. Like, hey, this is how you're gonna be. This is how you got to do it. So like, I definitely had some clashes with players because I would talk to them like they was my teammates.
Right.
And it's like, so I've had those, boom, like moments where it's like, and at the same time, it's like I look like one of them.
Yeah.
So it's like, I have to build that respect first. Some of them didn't see me play. Like I had my first year coaching, I want to say 4 or 5 players that was on that first year coaching that was on my team when I was a senior.
Yeah.
Like, you know what I'm saying? So like they saw, so they understood. I was their captain. So me just being on the sidelines, they're gonna listen to what I say because they know I put in the work. But then but the rest of the team, when it's like, who is this dude?
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So I had to learn that quick. And I was tested. You feel me? But like, it's hard because I'm not a player, so I can't respond like a player.
Yeah, I was gonna say you ever had to lace his sneakers up, bust a nigga ass
Come
couple
on,
times.
I do that. I still do that today. Like today, 4 years in, I still do that.
Hey, look, I'm the captain now. And start going in.
Like I do that. You know what I'm saying? Like I've done that. There's times in practice. Like I had a kid on my team this year who thought he was better than me.
Right.
So I'm just like, I haven't played organized basketball in 4 years. I got a newborn son. Like, I'm fat now. You know what I'm saying? Like, let's not really do that.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like, let's not really do that. But like, after practice, I work individually with some dudes, and I bring my shit with me. Put my sneakers on. You gonna get this work.
Right.
Like, whatever I got in the tank, you're gonna get it. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. So like, there's a lot of kids. There's a lot of my players now who's been humbled.
Yeah.
Let's say that. You know what I'm saying? They've been humbled.
Yeah, I like that. I like that a lot because it shows. Well, first of all, continue giving you your flowers. You got probably out of all the basketball players that I've been around my lifetime, you probably got top 3 best footwork I've seen. So that don't go nowhere. And it's just funny because like just hearing you say that shit reminds me of like Kobe Bryant, and like you got all hit when he was on those trash Laker teams and. A lot of you know what I mean? Like a lot of dudes ain't seen him win in a minute. They start testing him, and they would line up and like try to play his old Kobe ass 1-on-1, and he just whooping them.
Oh, what Jimmy Butler did? Was it Minnesota? Where he took the
Minnesota.
bench? Yeah, he took the bench and beat the starting 5.
That's why.
Like say, a lot of them has been humbled. But funny you mentioned footwork. Like that's, you did your research on the website, and it talked about my posts, this, that, and the third. Like again. I'm 6'2.5".
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm not a post.
Right.
But I have the footwork. You know what I'm saying? Like, the footwork is very fundamental to being a post player.
So that's what you specialize in right now.
Specialize in footwork.
As your coach.
Yeah. Like, I do that. I got moves, too, though. Like, don't get that twisted.
Right.
I face up. I got moves. But, I've gained that throughout the years from coaches who've taught me, watching, players who I played with, like, you know what I'm saying? Like, so I learned that and I just incorporated, into what I do now. So I'm not developing nothing new. I'm just pretty much teaching what I've been taught.
Right.
But just, I guess, with my own, my own swag to it. So, but.
Yeah, if I feel that, bro. Like, I think it's huge. Your position, just because like when we talk about like bringing it all together, you coaching New York City aspect, guards, just basketball players and overall in New York, we're all about the street ball. We're all about the flashy moves. It's not many times you see a dude that's like, I'm gonna face up on you, give you a couple jab steps, spin up and under.
Oh yeah, you don't see that in the park at all.
You know what I mean? You don't see that at all. And, for you to be in a position where you are today and you out here teaching that, I think that's fire, bro.
Yeah.
Like, it's funny because, like, we'll have a game, let's say we prepping to play York or, like, Hunter or whatever. So, we got practice during the week. And, like, let's say this day before the game, so it's a little light. we usually do like during practice we used to do skill development. So guards go on one half of the court and the posts come on the other side. So I get the guys and I teach them like a move or like a couple moves, and then we do it and you get the repetition going, and then we play the next day. Everybody on the bench, whatever game is going on. Somebody does the move that I literally just taught them the day before. You hear all the guys on the bench. Gene, coach, that's your camp. That's your camp. We just did that, yeah. And like, no lie, I be getting dumb hype off that. Like, I go down the bench. I be like, you see, yo, did I just teach y'all that? Did I just teach y'all that? I'm like, yo, it makes me think sometimes that I'm like, yo, I know what the fuck I'm doing. Right. You feel me? Like that, it's just reassurance. Mm-hmm. So it's like, it'd be dope sometimes. I be having mad fun with it.
That's dope. That's dope.
Yo, so what's next for you? Like, do you see yourself, coaching, like, in the long term? Or that's it? You here to stay?
I'm lining up to be the next head coach. I'm telling you this right now. Lehman? I mean, I want to say yeah. You know what I'm saying? Like he's definitely groomed me. 100% definitely groomed. He's taught me so much, and I've learned. And like he says it to this day. He was like, "Yo, you are ready to be the next head coach." But he's selfish, so he want to go another go round, and I get it because he wants to go out on top. I've had conversations with him in the past. Kind of recently in terms of like, I don't know if I'm coming back.
Right.
After this year, I don't know if I'm coming back. Every year is kind of the same thing. And, so I'm definitely putting myself in a position to try to get that. Because if I get that, like, that just solidifies pretty much what I want to do. And I'm definitely going to try to get a powerhouse.
Yes, sir.
And then just move on from there. Because I don't think I'm not going to be done at Lehman. Like, I'm not going to be sitting there and coaching 20 years. I'm not doing that unless,
you network.
Yeah, but chicken got to be there too.
Yeah, facts.
I'm what I'm saying? Like, it's a job and it's a grind. Like, I'm coach. I'm on the clock right now. Like, it don't stop. Like, if somebody calls me, I got to answer my phone and I got to work. I got to help you out with school. Like, recruits, I got to help them with applications, making sure like we're not even in season.
Yeah. Right.
So it's like, it is time consuming and it is draining sometimes. And I got a newborn. You know what I'm saying? He about to turn 1, so that's a whole nother headache too.
Congratulations on that, by the way, man.
That.
Yeah,
so that's a whole nother headache on that.
Yeah.
So I be feeling bad sometimes because I think sometimes like I'm not around him enough. Because I'm so caught up with doing this. Like yesterday, I spent like 5 hours giving recruits tours of campus, and I'm off. Like this is spring break, so I'm supposed to be off. You know what I'm saying? So like I be feeling bad, but I know that at the end of the day, I'm working for something that's bigger than what I'm doing right now.
Yeah, that's amazing. And one thing, too, I wanted to touch on, because on the first episode, me and Joe, we spoke about purpose. And do you feel like coaching is your purpose?
I do. Honestly, I think I do. Like, like all the things we spoke about so far has lined up for me to be where I'm at without me even realizing that this is where I needed to be. So it's like, what I see like just this year and entirely, it's like we were lost in the championship in overtime, and I played in the championship as a senior, but losing this one on the sideline hurts me more than the one I played in. You know what I'm saying? Like, so me just knowing that, and it's like I feel this for them.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like it's ain't about me. It's, we did everything we needed to do in order to be in that position. We spoke about it. We worked hard. We were pissed off at each other. There's days we hated each other. There's days we love to be around each other. There's days it was like, everybody, you come in with your mentality. Every day is not always going to be a good day. But just how bad I feel for them going through that, seeing my 2 seniors sacrifice what they sacrificed. Like, it hurts me for them. And what sucks is that they ain't gonna get that opportunity again, but now I am.
Are majority of your kids from the city?
Yeah. I got a kid who's from Philly. He's a transfer from Concordia. But he's originally from Philly. Kid just graduated. He's from DR, but he grew up here in the city. But majority of kids is from the city. I want to see, yeah. Oh, I got a kid who from Connecticut. He sacrificed too.
Hell yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like,
No dorms in the college? Like,
no
Came
dorms.
from
He
Connecticut.
commuting every day.
that's crazy.
You know what I'm saying? Like, that's tough. But that's something that he wants to do. So,
That shows the dedication.
I want to dive into like college atmosphere and then take your take like on a few like NBA stuff. So like everyone hears college basketball, this, that, and a third, and we always hear Duke, UNC, and Kentucky versus Alabama or some shit like
Gonzaga.
that, right? Like, as a coach, does Lehman have any of those like rivalries or
Baruch College.
Baruch College?
Baruch, really?
You know what I'm saying? Like, yeah, like
They nice?
they just beat us to the championship.
Oh,
Like, last year they didn't play because of COVID.
Mm-hmm.
The year before that, they lost in the championship.
chill.
The year before that, they lost to Brooklyn College. The year before they lost, they won in the championship.
I got recruited at Brooklyn College.
Where? Congratulations.
I don't think I ever told you that.
No, you never did tell me that.
Yeah. Ulster, that 1 year.
You was out there putting buckets.
But I didn't want.
Y'all was ass up there. That's why.
But that campus is nasty.
Brooklyn has a beautiful campus.
Nah,
Beautiful
it's
campus.
gray.
Brooklyn's campus is legit. It's
see,
like it's in this. You think about it, it's Brooklyn.
Yeah.
You don't think that.
That was the school I was expecting you to say, not Baruch. Like, Baruch threw me off. I would not expect the Baruch to be.
Nah, I'm telling you. Before,
Like a
all right. So
rival,
when
like-
I played, my 2 years that I played, well, prior to that, I want to say the 4 years of when I was kind of involved with Lehman as a player or potentially being a player was CSI, College Staten Island. They beat us in the they won the championship my junior year when we lost in the buzzer. And I'm gonna tell you this right now. I don't say this, but they didn't want to see us. My junior year, they didn't want to see us because we was coming for their ass. But we lost to City College. They beat City College in the championship. My senior year, we was the number 1 seed. They was the number 2 seed. Both games, because you play every school in your conference twice. Both games that we played against them was to the wire. First game at their house, we won in overtime. We wasn't supposed to win that game. We won in overtime. The next game they came to us, we won at the buzzer. I didn't want to win that game. I tell you, as a player, that's
Why?
funny. Because we knew we was going to see him in a championship game. And you
I
know
see
how
what
hard
you're
it is to beat a team 3 times?
Right. I
That
see.
shit is hard, bro. So it's like, I wanted you to take this. We was already locked in as a number 1 seed.
Yeah.
So, like, we wasn't fighting for anything. And they was locked in at the number 2, so we wasn't fighting. So it was like, yeah, I could have this one. That was my mentality. Like, 12 seconds left. We down 1. We go into the timeout. I come out the timeout and I tell dudes, I don't even care what happens. Hey, if we miss, we miss. Oh, well. Motherfucker hits a layup. I'm like, fuck. We hype. But I'm like, fuck. I see the coach, CSI coach, because he's a cool ass dude. See him after the game, we leaving. He's like, yo, man, that's another tough one. This, that, and the third. I looked at him right in the face. I'm like, yo, y'all, I wanted y'all to win this game. I tell him that. I'm not going to sugarcoat it.
Right.
I'm like, y'all should have got this one. Because I knew deep down we was going to see him again.
And y'all lost.
And it was for all the marbles. You feel me? I'm like, we lose that game, it gives us something more to fight for that day.
Right, the next
Build
one.
off.
You know what I'm saying? So it's like, fuck, he got us. Then CSI moved up to D2. So they moved up D2. And that's when Baruch kind of filled their spot. But Baruch has always been competing.
Yeah.
Right.
It was always Lehman. It was always CSI, Baruch, Lehman. You know, those 3 teams always like interchange every year. You
No
know,
City College?
City College had that 1 year. My junior year, they was good. But prior to that, honestly, I don't know the history.
Trash.
Y'all play any non-CUNY schools?
Yeah, we play non-CUNY school. We have 11 non-CUNY
word?
out of conference games. Yeah.
Oh, shit, that's
So it depends. Every year is different schools we play. Sometimes we play the same school like the next year because they have like a little contract. Like we go to you, the next year you come to us, like that. So, but every years we always kind of play different.
Play out of Division 3
Out of
team?
conference. No, we don't play like I'm talking out of conference, not like.
Nah, I know, but do you play like out of division team?
Nah, we don't play out of division
Nah.
teams. No.
So I know some schools do. Like,
Yeah, but that's like an exhibition. It's always to start the season. This season coming up, we might have a exhibition with like a D1 or a D2. Yeah. Those are good because they, it's like, so I'm gonna tell you this. This is the politics behind that. It's like those schools, those D1 schools that look for teams to play an exhibition, make sure that they look at the previous year, what you did the previous year. And if you was good, they're not gonna try to see you. Because it's like your D1 school, if you end up losing to them, what that say about your program? Yeah. So they try to look for the bottom teams where they know they're gonna whoop their ass. Build some morale and things like that. Like you don't want to be a team that's D1 to end up losing a Lehman. Like,
Right.
that's bad. You know what I'm saying? Like that's. But this year we might have one. I'm not sure.
oh, good luck.
Right.
Shit, I'll tell you right now, if we get a dub, the price is going up.
Yesterday's price.
It's
It's
not
not
today.
today's price.
That's the
You
quote
feel
of the
me?
year.
That's a fact.
That's
though.
a quote of the year.
That's a fact. Everybody's saying that.
Right.
Shit, I'm saying it because my price definitely went up.
With this thing you doing, I'm gonna give you your flowers. You feel me? Like I told you before we started, this is you.
Yeah.
This is your lane. You know what I'm saying? Like this is y'all talk about purpose. Like this is your purpose. Like, I just met you and you're already a natural at it. You know what I'm saying?
Appreciate
Like,
you. Yeah.
It's dope. I was hyped. I was hyped to do this.
Facts.
Yeah, I was hyped for the conversation. When he told me to, I'm like, oh, this is gonna be a good one.
Yeah.
It's gonna be a good convo for real.
Yeah, bro. We talk basketball
Yeah.
24/7. 24/7 is nonstop.
And speaking of, we in the midst of the playoffs. So, who y'all got? What's your predictions for the rest of the season?
Listen, man, I'm a Miami fan.
You a Heat
Dwayne
fan?
Wade,
Okay,
Dwayne
that's
Wade
my favorite
through
player
and through.
too, bro. That's
See?
my favorite player of all time, bro.
Through and through. So you feel me? Right now we looking tough.
Nah, y'all got the Hawks though for sure.
Yeah, that's
yeah,
easy.
They
Yeah.
hurt. It's not easy. It's they hurt. So that's what the problem is. But everybody pretty much hurt.
Yeah.
But who I got? I had Milwaukee coming out the East.
Same.
No cap.
I said
That Middleton injury though.
I said Bucks Suns rematch, but I don't know how.
I said that too. But now
Yeah.
you got Booker hurt too. So
Exactly.
it's tough. So I mean it's hard. It's definitely gonna be
He,
interesting.
he thinks the Pelicans to take the Suns out.
It's not a wild take.
You told me this last week, I'll laugh at him. This week,
I don't know.
Not a
man.
wild take.
it's not a
I
wild.
still-
It's not a hot take.
Yeah, I don't know. I still don't see it.
It's not.
Even though I love CJ, I think CJ's a top 5 shooting guard in the league. Like,
I don't think that.
He's
you don't think it's top 5?
I don't think it's tough.
Who you got 5 above him? Bro, look at. You talk about footwork. CJ's footwork is one of
It's
the best.
impeccable.
Manhandles.
100%.
His footwork for a guard is one of the best in the league, bro.
I do not disagree with you on that. Just don't think he's a top 5 shooter
Really?
right
I
now.
mean, you got D Book. You got who else? You got Jalen Brown.
Klay Thompson.
Clay. He's not top
I
5.
mean, I'm not putting him right now.
Nah,
Thompson, not top
but
five.
just
You
off
talk
the-
about resume, yeah.
Off the resume
James
alone,
Harden.
yeah.
James Harden is turning to a point.
I'm not putting. I like Jalen Brown, but not above. And I love Jalen. I love his
But not
game,
above CJ?
Not above CJ.
Nah, you wanna.
Not above CJ.
you wildin' right now.
I don't know.
Who else?
He's a good a great two-way player though. Great player. But I don't think. I'm telling you, CJ's footwork is.
CJ is legit, but
Yo,
Jalen Brown won him that game the other day.
Nah, 100%. He took over the fourth quarter. Which is, yeah. And I said it too. I said the Celtics could take the Nets
Nah,
out.
Jalen Brown definitely top 5.
JT
I'm
and
sorry.
JB could take out.
Brooklyn?
Yeah. But yeah, that's what was that 3, 4?
That's 3.
I'm telling you, he's top.
You got
5.
3? Who's the 3? You said D Book, Jalen Brown,
I said James Harden.
James Harden.
James Harden.
He's just been inconsistent in the playoffs, but James Harden. Who else?
I'm trying to think of who the playoff teams.
I'm telling you, he's top 5.
I don't put him
You
over
don't-
Anthony Edwards.
He's a 3.
He a 3?
All right, so you a Heat fan. You got him over. You think Jimmy Butler's better than
Oh,
CJ?
hell yeah.
Hell yeah.
Hell yeah.
Hell yeah.
Hell yeah.
Oh man.
What? Jimmy Butler shoot no threes. Like,
And get 45.
he at 45, he shoot no threes.
Nah, Jimmy is nice, but I don't know. I think I got CJ.
I respect it. I think what you're saying is like Skill wise, he's top.
skill set.
Super skilled.
He
Yeah.
is super skilled.
Skill wise, he's
skilled.
top 5. Yeah.
Bro, look how he turned that Pelicans organization around.
Yeah, he
too,
got no.
bro. Like,
His downfall is he got no athleticism.
him and BI.
Yeah.
And
they
once
might-
they get Zion looks like all in, that team's gonna be a problem.
Zion need to
Zion
eat.
need to get about it there.
Zion need to eat right.
I don't know, bro. I think they'll do right with.
Too much gumbo.
He need to get a BBL.
That's a fact. I'm
Like-
too heavy.
Son, he's not making it work. Like
Nah, it's
you know, how some people can't just lose weight.
Right.
It's all right, bro. Just get that BBL, come back slimmer. You know what I
Yeah.
mean?
He gotta get on that Melo wave.
Nah,
so
yeah.
Melo was a little heavy
Word.
set.
I think Melo got a BBL too. Nah.
I don't know. It's hard to call now. I think now with the way the rosters is looking, I think Sixers is going all the way.
Yeah, I think Sixers. I said didn't I say Sixers?
I
It's
still
the-
don't
it's the
see
hot
it because
team.
there's no real like James Harden's not James Harden.
So what?
I don't think it's
That
so
boy-
what. And you playing Toronto. Like Toronto, everybody's saying, it's gonna be a
But
tough
who
series.
can't-
Like
who-
Toronto's
Yeah, but you got
Keep it-
Toronto
You
ass.
got that African giant,
Exactly.
He's MVP.
Who's guarding him
big boy over there.
Who's guarding him?
in the East right now?
Bam.
Bro, he's going
I think
work
he's gonna
Bam
smoke
up, bro.
Bam.
He's gonna smoke. Bro, we talk about going back to footwork. You seen Embiid?
I've seen Embiid.
Embiid
Embiid
is
is my
impeccable.
favorite.
Impeccable.
Is his foot? He's the best footwork in the
Impeccable.
league right now. I think so. But Bam.
Nah,
All right, don't sleep on my guy.
We're gonna see, man.
we
Listen,
gonna see, but
if y'all hear this after the playoffs, just know we calling Sixers over the Heat. If it happens,
I'm calling it Sixers Warriors.
Sixers. He got too many dogs, man.
He got
too many dogs.
They do got dogs.
Too
They-
many dogs.
I say that
that's
they do
fine.
got.
You can have all the
That's
dogs
fine.
you want, nigga.
Yeah, them boys ain't
We
on
got-
the leash either.
We got fucking.
That's like the Celtics got dogs.
We
Bro.
got
Celtics
gorillas.
got some dogs. I'm still not sold on
Sixers
that, dog.
got gorillas.
They got one gorilla.
Yeah,
That can take out a lot of dogs. One gorilla can take out a lot of dogs.
that's a silverback over there, bro.
Facts.
With Embiid, bro.
Facts.
Nah, he's different. He is definitely
Facts.
different.
He's on some.
But you want to know what's the key to what the Sixers winning it all? Tobias Harris.
Facts.
Yeah, of course, 100%.
And he's playing well against Toronto.
Yeah,
Facts.
Like Toronto.
Facts.
we'll see.
What about the Knicks?
What about the Knicks?
How do you feel? What do you think they can do to bring a championship to the city?
Get rid of Julius Randle. Build
Exactly.
around,
I say the same
build
thing.
around RJ Barrett.
I said the same thing. We need to keep
Yeah.
Obi, RJ, and Quickly and
Yeah,
develop those three.
I'm not a fan of Quickly either.
You're not a fan of Quickly?
Nah, I'm not a fan
I
of
think you could develop him to something. I think it could be something good.
Knicks have
But-
no
but-
development team.
They don't. Horrible development team, bro.
Like
I got closer to the mic because I wanted everybody to
horrible.
hear that for sure.
I'm a Knicks fan, but bro, I say it all the time. They got a horrible development team.
That's
Like,
why
I
you
look-
get
I-
so many draft picks that don't amount to nothing.
Yeah.
Then they go somewhere else and they become something.
Like I look at the Warriors. The Warriors probably have the best development team in the league.
Over the
But
Spurs?
Top three. Well, the Spurs haven't been relevant though in the past. They haven't really been making noise.
I mean, they got DeJounte Murray. They
DeJounte
just-
Murray, he's been.
They developed him into something
he's
crazy.
nice. I like Murray, but
You know, it's just.
I don't see the Spurs being competitive though in the near future. But
I don't know.
But you look at the team like the Warriors, like look at Jordan Poole, Damian Lee, GP.
Poole is different.
He reminds
That's
me.
a dog right there,
Yeah,
bro.
he reminds me of myself. I don't know. The green light, you know.
Yo, this dude be chatting, right? This nigga.
I mean, he wouldn't be him if
he ain't
he ain't chat. You know what I'm saying? Like that'd be weird.
I'd be dead ass though.
I mean, and that's what's
Give me the green light.
I need to see the tape. I need tape, bro.
I got you after this. I got a little mixtape.
He kind of lost. I think you lost the mixtape or not?
I lost the mixtape, but I made a new one. It's in the file.
He got the ball is life mixed.
Yo, G. So, we asked all our guests, you know, being it's the BU Be Real podcast, before they step away from the mic, we appreciate you for coming in, and we truly value your role in in the community, coaching for Lehman and coaching up these young boys and putting them in positions
I want
to
to say young men. because
young men. That's a fact. Realizing
Absolutely.
their positions, while also teaching them the game, mentoring them. What makes you in this world be you and to be real? What makes you be yourself? What makes you be genuine? What makes you be real?
I think I was always genuine. Like from young, I think my mom always instilled that in me. You know, like without me even realizing it, I kind of was always like that. Like, you know, you do for others as you would like others to do for you. You know what I'm saying? Like she always taught me to be polite, you know, and be cordial with people, because you never gonna know when you're gonna need somebody, like in life. Like you can meet someone today, and because you left a genuine vibe or a introduction, and you meet them later on in life in a position that you're trying to go for, or whatever the case may be. It's like, yeah, I remember that dude. He was always kind of like this. You know, I don't know you, but I just got a good vibe from you, so I'm gonna help you out in the situation. So it's like, everybody talks about, you want to do everything for yourself and you don't want to rely on anybody. But I think as a person, especially talking about community, you need other people to help you get to where you want to go. Like that self-made thing is almost kind of, I don't really buy into it 100%. Like, yeah, you got to put the work in, but you also need people to lift you up, you know? So I just try to instill that in other people because, that's the way I was raised. That's the way I was taught. And then you incorporate that with, I guess, my journey and, and the lessons that I've learned growing up and becoming a man. It all goes hand in hand because I guess it ties into, who I'm trying to be as a person. Like, I don't want to be someone who people can rely on. I don't want to be someone who people can come to me for advice or, you know what I'm saying? Like, I don't expect nothing from nobody. Like, I'm going to be cordial and I'll be, myself with you, regardless of how you take that. And I'm not expecting a handout. But if it's there, it's appreciated. And just know that if I'm in a position to do it, I wouldn't mind doing it either. But you also have to know your limitations in terms of when people try to take advantage. So it's like, I guess it's just that balance of understanding everything that kind of, keeps you steady. So I don't know if I answered the question for you, but
nah, I think you hit that shit right on the nail, bro.
That was fire, right?
Carlos, you got anything?
Nah, man, this was a dope ass conversation, bro. It was real. Yeah, man. Appreciate you again for pulling up. Yeah.
I appreciate y'all for even having me. You feel me? Like, I feel like this. I looked at it like I'm gonna be a little selfish. I looked at it as an opportunity to get my story out there and for people to view me as well.
Right.
Like, you know what I'm saying? Because like, not everybody gets highlighted, and sometimes you kind of need that for somebody that's somewhere watching and being like, yo, you know what? Like that person,
right?
Is doing all the right things. Like, I want to help that person be put in a position of where they want to go and things like that.
That's what we all about, bro.
And that's exactly. I was gonna say that's the goal of the show, man. Just to highlight, highlight and use this as a platform to put people on notice, man.
And you deserve it, so
I appreciate that.
Yeah.
But that's what it is. It's the Be Real podcast. Stay tuned for more episodes coming soon. It's your boy.
We out.
I ain't gon' fade away. I don't care what you say. Out of my way, Jose. I'ma go straight to the bank. Every single night I pray, hoping they get out my way. I ain't gon' fade away. No, I ain't gon' fade away. I ain't gon' fade away. I don't care what you say. Out of my way, Jose. I'ma go straight to the bank. Every single night I pray, hoping they get out my way. I ain't gon' fade away.